We were at Bread Loaf at a reading, and Dad, take it from here.
Well, Bread Loaf is the summer part of Middlebury College, and actually it was founded by Robert Frost, and it was the first in the country to be a place where poets gathered for workshop and talks. It's amazing what Robert Frost did in terms of managing to change the whole face of American poetry. And his friend Archibald MacLeish, although MacLeish disagreed obviously totally with Ezra Pound's politics, saved him from getting executed as a spy. In those days, Ezra Pound was broadcasting daily over the Italian and German radio, saying things like the only mistake Hitler made was that he didn't kill all the kikes. It wasn't very pleasant. But anyway, he got him off from a criminal sentence to a criminal hospital at St. Elizabeth, where he had a very pleasant suite of rooms looking out on the park, and visitors who came from all over the country. I don't remember how many years he stayed there, about 11 years, then went back to Rapallo in Italy. As he got off the plank, you saw him walking down the plank, and there were a bunch of people there, and they have an astonished picture on his face because he goes like this, gives Mussolini's. This was after World War II. Ezra Pound lived very much in the past, and the last few years he took a vow of silence and repentance. And during those years he wrote some very beautiful, imperfect cantos. I think the most, in way, lovely of his life. If I remember probably incorrectly, like 112. He went beyond the 100 he had tried to write, or limited to. And that was suddenly not a posturing Pound, but a meditative and thoughtful and wise one. And it was strange, this strange man who got people Nobel Prizes from Yeats to Tagore, who helped everybody, and yet at the same time was so full of anger. He learned to love Chinese poetry, which he didn't know much about, but he used it constantly in the cantos from Sir Arthur Waley, who was the great professor and translator of Chinese and Japanese, and who, along with Amy Lowell, almost a century earlier, introduced Chinese and Japanese poetry to the world. On Thursday evenings, every day for several years before World War II, they would have lunch together. Now, Sir Arthur Waley was a Viennese Jew who had come to England, and he was by then had been made a knight and so forth and so on. Irony, the lawyers who saved Pound from getting his death, a death sentence, which so many people wanted then. In those days, we were giving death out like candy bars, were his Jewish friends, the lawyers. Tremendous sad contradictions in all of this. Well, what happened?